Hello and welcome to another Wise Option eLearning video. In today's video, we're going to be going over how to change a horse's board rate in Wise Option using the reoccurring module. So when we talk about changing the horse's board rate, this situation that typically occurs is a horse was checked in under a particular board rate. And then sometime later, may that be the next day or several weeks later, the horse's board rate is changed. Maybe they got turned out from stall to pasture, or they ended up falling out, and so they went from a dry mare board to a wet mare board. So you need to change the rate from what the horse was originally on to the next different rate. And we don't, of course, want to have to check the horse out and then check the horse back in. So in Wise Option, if you go to the recurring module and find the horse in question, so I'll use this horse here as an example. I'm going to go ahead and change this horse's rate. So we're going to use the change rate button here at the bottom, towards the bottom left corner. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to search for my new board rate. Once I've selected my new board rate, now I'm going to go ahead and just double check here the last day on the current rate. So that current rate, which was training monthly, what was the last day on that current rate? So one of the nice things about changing rates is you can actually do this in the past. So let's say this horse changed rates yesterday, but stuff got away from us and we weren't able to. So I can actually go ahead then and change the date back as appropriate. Now, of course, we still do recommend trying to do these changes on the day that they occur, just because it's a lot easier to keep up with and typically leads to less mistakes. But we understand things happen, so that's why, again, you can do this as if this board rate happened a few days ago. So again, select the last date that it was on the current rate, which is in this case is this board training monthly. It's going to be switching to this board special care. I'm going to select my location here. And then from here, it's going to ask me if I'd like to charge for that same day. I'm going to leave that selected. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about charging for the same day, this is the same feature that then occurs too whenever you check a horse out. So just asking if you'd like to make sure that that same day is charged. Most people do. And then I'm going to go ahead and click change rate. So the horse was never checked out. All it is it's just coming in now and it's actually swapped board rates. So now if I go into this horse's record and I go to her procedures, we can take a look and you can see from this procedures screen, we can see the board rate. So you can see here that it went from 6/1 to 6/25, 6/26, because that was the last day on the current rate. And it charged for 25 days of board for that total amount, according to, again, the board rate there. And it applied that charge on that last day on 6/26. Now, the horse has a new period date of 6/27, and board special care is a new rate. So when I go to charge for board at the end of this month, it'll go ahead and charge from 6/27 through 6/30. And so there won't be an overlap there between the two. Now, again, really important to note, this is really only supposed to be used for when the horse actually was originally on the original rate and then changes to a new rate. This is not to be confused and not to be used in the case where a horse is checked under the incorrect board rate. That's a separate, which we go over in a separate video. But if you've checked the horse into the wrong board rate, you don't want to use that change rate button. For the same reason as you just saw there, it's going to apply a charge for that first initial rate. If you have any questions, let us know. Thanks so much.